are you gonna say we are not essential, but you're on TV with a fresh haircut?
Wow.
So how are you gonna say we have to close?
Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning into our podcast. Today we have a very special guest. If you like my haircut, this is one of the best barbers in the Valley, and he has his own shop. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Eugene Martinez. I'm one of the owners of True Blends Barbershop. Other owner couldn't be here, which is my wife.
The real owner.
The real owner. But I also go by True Blends on Instagram, man. True Blends Barbershop on Instagram, but we got 2 pages, man.
Awesome. And one of the reasons we do this show is so that we're real estate agents, and we're not just here to just sell houses, although it's very fun. We also want to highlight local businesses and local entrepreneurs. And Eugene, I've seen your success story from just being a barber at a shop, and I can't tell you how many barbers have told me that, one day I'm going to have a shop, but you did it. You made your own shop. Tell me about that journey.
Man, it's a lot. People don't understand what goes behind opening a business. You know because you've done it. But there's a lot that goes behind the hustle, the grind to get there. I think everybody has the admiration, the dream to do that, to open up a shop, but to actually put it into action, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of funding. It takes a lot of heart. Even for us, we opened right during COVID. We got our keys January 2020.
Wow.
And, to survive COVID and to survive all that, a lot of people don't understand how hard that is. You know what I mean? Being a realtor in 2020 was different.
Yeah.
And being a barber in 2020, but they shut us down completely. So
that's true.
To make it through that, to open a business through that, it was a lot, but we learned a lot. We gained a lot, met a lot of good people, and we grinded it out, man. And we just kept working, keep we keep building. We got a solid team now, and it's just, we're going to keep going. We ain't stopping.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, dude. So how did it feel, before we get into the craziness, how did it feel to go from being a barber to, owning your own shop? You know what?
My last shop I worked at, you remember when I was at Diamond Cuts, when I went there, I told him, look, I don't want to be a manager. I just want to be a barber, because I had just managed another shop before that. And I was like, I didn't want to do that no more. I've been management, and I've been management my whole career before I was even a barber, when I worked in the warehouse industry. So I more so just wanted to be a barber. I just want to see the side of just being the barber. And I loved it, but for me, I do like managing teams. I do like being able to help guys grow. And that's even being at his shop, I realized that's in me. It's in me to help someone, to teach someone how they can grow their business, how they can promote a little more, how it'll gain them a little more traction by how I'm posting a little more. It's going to get you a couple more people in the door. Just the simplest thing, you can throw $20 at an Instagram post and just for them to send it out to more people, and you can actually get one client. If you get one client off a $20 advertisement, you're winning, because the goal is to get that client back. It's me is teaching that to people. It's one thing I love about what we do, is that you can teach that. You know what I mean? And being a barber, it's not like bagging on any barbers that are just barbers, but it's like any job. There's some people that just want to be just the worker, and then there's people that want to be a boss. Or say a boss, because even me, I own the business, but I don't say I'm the boss. Everyone says I'm the boss. They think it's a big title to say you're a boss. It's not. It's really, it's cliche to me to say you're a boss, because I don't even own the building it's in, so I can't say I'm an official boss yet. You know what I mean?
That's fair. And the real boss isn't here.
Yeah.
You said. Yeah. So I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So, and the real boss isn't here. But
cool.
You know what I mean? See, that's what I'm saying. For me, I always love teaching. So I found out early, being at that shop, and my goal was to be there for 1 year. I was going to stay there for a year, open up a shop, and I ended up almost being there almost 5 years. 4.5 years. Then COVID happened; they shut us down.
How long were you open before they shut you down?
Our shop or at the other shop?
Your shop.
We hadn't even opened yet, because we got the keys January. We got the keys in January of 2020. January 8th is actually my mom's birthday. We got it on her birthday, the keys. And we thought, hey, it's going to be so easy. Well, believe it or not, City of Peoria made it super hard, because you couldn't do anything in person no more. And we had already submitted our plans in person. So when you submit plans, it takes, they tell you 3 to 6 weeks, something like that. So you got to wait 3 to 6 weeks, and they tell you don't call until at least 3 weeks. So
Wow.
we wait 3 weeks. We call. They're like, oh, they're reviewing it 5 weeks or reviewing it 6 weeks. Hey, it's 6 weeks now. What's going on? Oh, hey, you got to actually submit your plans digitally now.
Wow.
So now we have on a 3 to 6 week process all
Had to
over
start
again.
over.
All over again. So just waiting on permitting, then finally get the permitting, then we get the go ahead, then get rolling. And we opened June of 2020. So it
That's
took
a long
6
time,
month month build out time.
What happens in the meantime? Were you working or how?
I was still, so I remember we got shut down April of 2020 by the state. We weren't allowed to cut no more.
Wow.
And they shut down all the shops, and we were shut down. If I remember right, it was like 6 weeks. 6 weeks they shut us down. You know, it don't seem like a lot, but it's a long time to be shut down. A month and a half is a long time.
Yeah, that's a lot of paychecks.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You go from making good money, and for us, we were like one of the top shops in Avondale to just nothing. You know what I mean? To just nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to say just nothing because, you know, we were still cutting. I was still cutting. I was still doing house cuts. We still have clientele. I cut a lot of police officers, firemen. So military guys, they have to have haircuts. They have to be presentable for the job. So, you know,
that sounds essential to me.
Yeah. But believe it or not, man, if I could probably look it up. I actually messaged members of Doug Ducey was the governor at the time, and I actually messaged him like, "Hey, how are you gonna say we are not essential, but you're on TV with a fresh haircut?
Wow.
So how are you gonna say we have to close? But you're every week new
Did
haircut."
he do it?
Huh?
Maybe he has.
He never
skills,
responded, but I think he saw it.
Yeah.
It showed that he read it, but he never responded. But at least I got my message out to, and that's the good thing about social media. You can reach somebody if you really want to. You can try 100 posts. Hey, here you go. They're gonna see it eventually. You know what I mean?
Back then, that was one of the things that people would say too about keeping people safe. But people want haircuts. That was like the number one, not the gym, not real estate. They would say people wanted haircuts, and that was like the contrast.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I tell people all the time, like, even though we are kind of like a luxury item for people, you know what I mean? People still want haircuts. It makes somebody feel good to get a haircut. You get a haircut, you feel amazing. You could be, man, I've seen guys down on their luck and going through divorces and they get a haircut and they put a smile on their face and they're happy again. And if I can give somebody joy for a minute just from a haircut, like,
that's true.
Man, it's amazing. You know, it's an amazing feeling.
One thing I do notice is that when I drive home from getting a haircut, the music sounds better. I don't know if that happens to anybody else. And I noticed it even if I take my dog to the groomer, he jumps around a little bit more. If I did it at my house and cut him when I tried to do that, I don't recommend. But like he would just get happy and excited, like, oh man, I got a haircut. Like it's crazy what happens. I have some questions here that I want to pose to you. Now, it sounds like your shop offers a range of services. I got haircuts, beard care. You do a lot of things. How do you personalize the experience for each client?
Man, personalize it for each client. For me, say like yourself. You know, you come in and you know I've cut you so long. You kind of learn your clients. You learn what they like, what they don't like. You know, when you come in, I'm like, we doing the regular again. You know, are we doing? You know, you just change up your haircut, so you know, hey,
growing this out right now.
We were doing the taper. You still doing the beard. You know, and you personalize it based off of just learning your clients, learning what they like. Sometimes they'll come in, hey, you know, I was thinking about doing something different today. Oh, yeah, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? You got any pictures? You know what I mean? For me, I tell a lot of my guys, I always try to teach this is consultation. In my business, consultation is always going to be number one. The main reason someone is coming to our business is for a haircut. They want a great haircut. So in order to get the great haircut, you got to get the consultation down. You have to understand what they want, how they want it, to the specifics. To you know what I mean? How high do you want it? Do you still want hair on the sides? Do you want to take some off the top? How much? Show them in the mirror. You know what I mean? Lift their hair up. Do you want an inch cut off? Oh, a little more. Okay, about right here, about right there. Then once you cut it, show it to them. Is that good? Do you want a little more? And you go from there. You know, I mean, it's learning that because the goal is to give them the best haircut they ever had. That's how you build clientele. If you give them a cut they've never got from anywhere else, they'll come back to you every time. You know what I mean? And dude, there's so many. It's crazy because I have a paper in the back of our shop in the break room, and it's a breakdown of the haircut. It's a breakdown that starts from greeting the person to walking into the chair. You know what I mean? Then it's the consultation. Then it's during the haircut. How's your day going? You know what I mean? How you doing today? Weather, it's getting kind of hot, man. The little chit chat that, that people don't understand. And, anybody watches, think about where you go and get a haircut at. Think about, does your barber even ask you questions, or do they just cut your hair? Because some of these barbers, they just, oh, you want a mid fade? All right, $35, $40.
Yeah.
Send you on your way.
That's happened to me before.
You know what I mean? And I learned early in my career that people don't want that. People want that connection with their barber. You know what I mean? They want that connection beyond just the haircut. You know what I mean? And I feel teaching that is so beneficial. You know what I mean? And then from there, you get the haircut down. You get the haircut, the chit chat. Then I tell everybody it's the closer. Now you got to go ring them up. And as you're ringing them up, hey, by the way, man, here's my card. My name's Gene. This is how you book me. You scan this QR code, takes you right to our website. And then tell them the kicker on top is, hey, bring this card back, you get $5 off. So now you're giving them a way to come back. You're giving them a discount to come back. So, and then I'm a firm believer. The second time you cut them, you give them an amazing haircut. They're coming back. They're going to become your client.
Yeah,
it's just
that's how you got me, man.
It's just learning those things. You know what I mean? You have to learn these key little factors that play a part in how you build relationships with your. I tell people friends, not just clients. You know what I mean? I look at you like a friend more so than a client, because I hate to say a client because it's more so like just the business side. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he's just a client. Like, no, you're like my friend. Like,
I appreciate that.
I've been to your house. You've been to my house. You've been to multiple of my houses now because you helped me buy houses.
He has multiple houses.
He's helped me buy multiple houses. You know what I mean? So Charles has been there. You know what I mean? And that's why I say I look at you more like a friend than and friend and family. Really is what I tell people is my clients are more friends and family than they are clients, because I don't want people to think that it's just a monetary thing. Because believe it or not, like if you were to tell me, hey man, I don't have no money, whatever, it's getting hard, I'd be like, yeah, hey, but I'm trying to do this thing to kick it off. I'd be like, come through, man, I got you. I'll take care of you, because I know eventually you're gonna get back on your feet, and I know eventually we'll get it rolling again. Money is just money. It's nothing to me, man. You know what I mean? Once you get it, it's just a means of doing more things. You know what
it's
I mean?
That mindset. So you saying that, I'm sure there's going to be barbers watching this, and they may not be at a certain position. What advice, what would you say to them? Because I've been there before too, and I've been like, when I first started real estate, it's about closing deals, about doing this and that and all this stuff. But it's so true what you said. It's not about the money or the transaction or the deal or the haircut. It's about the relationship. What do you say to somebody who doesn't believe you, or easy for you to say you have multiple houses? Like, what do you say to somebody like that?
Man, what I would say to them is to understand, I've been in your shoes. I've been where they've been at. People, and believe it or not, I've had barbers that I've had talks with, and they're like, it's easy, like you say, that it's easier for you. You got everything. You got a shop. You got houses and I tell them, I've been in your shoes, man. I've been a new barber. I've had $0 to my name at one point. You know what I mean? I've been at the bottom, man. I've seen what it's like. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to eat ramen noodles every day. I know what it's like to struggle. You know what I mean? Don't think that this was just handed to me. Like, this is hard work. This is grinding every day. Man, my first 2 years in business, I did not have a day off. I worked 7 days a week, open to close, and we were working 9 to 7 back then, every day. So, like I tell guys, especially any new barbers, I tell any new barber, you should plan on working 7 days. You should, if the shop's open 7 days, you should plan on working 7 days, at least a couple months, so you can build the clientele up. The faster, if you're there 2 more days, of course, I schedule my guys, I give them 2 days off. But you should plan on coming in. Like I tell guys, you don't have to you can come in if you want. Just don't plan on taking an extra day off in the middle of the week because you work 2 other days. Like, no, you still have to work your schedule. But if you come in on your days off, that's up to you. You know what I mean? But that's what I would do if I could. And not only that, market yourself. Go out there, pass out the cards. I just did a segment as I was driving here. A new thing I'm going to start. It's Motivation Monday. And I'm going to put out every Monday is telling guys, like, you got to go out there and pass out these cards. You got to go out there and try to bring the business, because even me as an owner, I can go out there and try to bring business for you, pay for advertising, and I could do all that, and we could bring people in. But if you're not doing that, how you're only going to get what we're bringing. But imagine if, we have 8 barbers. So imagine if 8 of my barbers are passing out cards every day. You got that many more people going to come into the business now. You know what I mean? Instead of just me doing it solely by myself, doing the marketing. You know what I mean? Because now it's just not one guy marketing, it's 8 people marketing this one business. So I tell any new barber, you gotta do that. Pass out the cards. Don't be scared to go in the Fry's parking lot and talk to people. And I tell people, anybody, men, women, don't be scared to talk to women and tell her, hey, let me give you a business card for our business. In real estate, men and women buy houses all the time. Men and women get cut all the time. And even if the woman doesn't have a man's haircut, she might have a husband, a boyfriend, a father, a son, a cousin. Someone needs a haircut. So you giving her that card, and our cards say free $5 off your first haircut. So it's free money, man. Where else are people giving away free money? You know what I mean? Like, if you can take advantage of that, take advantage of it, man. I even told a guy the other day, me personally, I would tell someone, look, if you don't like the haircut, hey, it's on me. But I guarantee you're gonna like the haircut. I guarantee, because I'm that confident with my work.
That's putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a big deal. So, and we in the grooming industry, it's always evolving. I know we talked a lot about business. How do you and your team stay updated on the latest trends when it comes to being a barber?
Obviously, Instagram's a key part. Social media is a key part. TikTok, all of it. The new stuff that comes out, you can see it pretty quick now, because as soon as something comes out, it's getting posted. The brands put something out, it's posted. They mass blast everybody. For us too, we do a lot of the barber expos. We have one now. We have two in Arizona a year. We've been doing we've been going out to LA. We've done them out in LA.
Oh wow.
We do the Vegas one. We started doing that last year. Now that's an annual thing. We're actually going out there every year, doing Vegas. Surprisingly, it's crazy. I just got asked just yesterday to go and do one in what is the city? It's Carlsbad. They're doing one in Carlsbad in June. So they asked me to be like a special guest. So I'm gonna be their special guest for that one. That's
pretty dope, man.
You know what I mean? And a lot of this, like I tell guys, like any new barbers watching this, anybody in any business, man, you know what I mean? Whenever you go to these trade shows, expos, whatever they are, it's networking. You have to network, man. I see a lot of people, they go and they hold up a wall for some reason, and they stand there like they're upset or something. They're like
they're too cool.
Like, too cool to talk to nobody. But that's the whole thing, is to network, to meet people, and by meeting these people and making these connections, believe me, it comes back to you. You know what I mean? I was just saying, a firm believer is the work you put in will come back to you tenfold. You know what I mean? And I feel like all these expos I've been doing, it's finally coming back around. We've done interviews for our podcast with some of the big people. I remember I was showing you the one guy, the 360 Jeezy guy. He's got like 3.2 million YouTube followers.
Wow.
Like, that's a big name to be able to interview. Bro. And I don't think he interviewed anybody else that day but me. So, you know what I mean? Amazing. That's special to me, because it's for someone like him to actually, hey, I'm gonna sit down with you and nobody else he sat down with, like that's special. You know what I mean? That means I connected on him with a different level, and it came from just in the morning. I just was talking to him. Just people were scared to talk to the guy. Believe it or not, it was like they saw Jesus or something. They were scared to talk to him.
That's funny.
And I started talking to him and just, hey, how's your day going? Just like I would anybody coming into the shop. How you doing today, man? And we just started having a good conversation, and we talked for about 40 minutes, and then I brought up our podcast, and surprisingly, like we're talking about new items, he just was coming out with a new clipper, and he's like, oh yeah, I got a new clipper coming out. I was like, I saw that, man. I saw it on your Instagram, and just chopping it up. And then, hey man, I do a podcast. You want to do it later on? He's like, yeah, you know what? We'll do it later if I get free. And surprisingly, later on in the day, we did it, man. But this is part of it, man. It's part of it is the networking is going to be key. Go out there to these events. Believe it or not, all the new tools in our industry are at these events.
Huh.
You know what I mean? The Vegas one, especially the Vegas Expo, it's one of the biggest ones. Is Vegas and Connecticut has the 2 biggest expos
I didn't know that.
in the U.S. And those are all the big brands in barbering there. So any new equipment coming out will be there at these expos. Yeah. So if you're a new barber, I would go to these shows. Believe it or not, if you're a barber and you want to go to the Vegas Expo, it's in September, the end of September, I can get you a free room. message me. I will get you a free room for
That's
Vegas.
crazy. What if I wanted to go?
If you want to go, I'll get you a
I
free
just
room
want a
too.
free room.
I'll give you a free room in Vegas. I already gave you the link for the free room.
This is why I do this podcast, because there's a lot of perks. We had a Tap Savvy. He brought beer, and it was early in the morning, but we all had fun all day long.
Oh man,
So it was cool. It was cool.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And this came from, like I say, networking, man, and finding out the ways to get free rooms in Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We went last time, and I think one of the guys he wanted his own room, and I think he ended up paying like $450 for 2 nights in
That's
Vegas.
That's expensive.
You know what I mean? So if you get $450 free, then you ain't got no excuse not to be there now. You just got to buy the ticket for the show.
That's true.
Which a ticket for the show I think is like $60. So if you can't afford the $60, some gas money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I get it. There might be some new barber watching this, but there might be somebody that's a vet. And this is one thing I've learned. You know, as I get older, you know, they call us all old heads and all this, but a lot of us older guys got to get out of that, because if we don't learn nothing new, you're going to constantly be making the same amount of money. You can't up your service if you don't have anything else special to give.
That's true.
If you're not learning nothing else different, how can you up your service? You know what I mean? How can you up it? Man, believe it or not, I took this guy's beard class, Mr. Official, man. I got to give him credit, because he is an amazing beard work artist when it comes to, like, that's his thing, especially his beards. And I took this class and I learned so much from him. And I had been doing this already for about 9 years, nine and a half years. Well, because this is my 10th year, so it's like a year ago I took his class. And believe it or not, I thought I knew everything there was, but I took his one class and learned so much in a 45-minute class from this guy. And not only that, hey, you guys got any questions? And you know, we start asking the questions. You know, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And he explains it so well, but you learn from it. And that's why I tell guys, these expos, they have classes there too. You can go learn something. And the bigger expos, it's a bigger class. And like the Vegas Expo, I want to say they probably had like 500 to 600 people in attendance.
That's a lot of people.
So it's kind of hard to ask those questions. But the good thing is, once they come off a stage, you can go ask them that. You can go ask them this, that.
That's a lot of people, man.
Yeah, and that's just the class. The expo alone, I think, is 8,000 to 10,000 people attend this expo.
I had no clue that world even exists until you told me.
Yeah, but then you got to think, in every industry, you know what I mean? And because I know guys that do HVAC, and they have HVAC expos. There's SEMA for car guys.
That's true.
There's expos for every business. You know, even realty. They have the expos. You know what I mean, for you guys.
Yeah, there's a couple.
So it's like every business. It's just you have to learn about them, and I think more so the people who really care about their industry, they learn about them. They find out about them. They go to them, and they start attending these things to network. You know what I mean? We've talked a couple times. You said you met someone at a networking event that got you further in your career, and
It's true.
I'm the same. I know that there's people that I've met that's going to get me further in my career just by meeting them at expos and just doing the work, just having the conversations. And even for me, it's not more so to try to get ahead more in my life, in my career. I know it's going to happen eventually. And my goal is just to meet people, just to go out there and meet.
Yeah.
It gives me a way to get out of the shop, take a vacation. Man, I work so much that, like I tell you, my first 2 years, I worked 2 years straight, no days off. You know what I mean? No lie, like no days off. Like
I believe you, man.
I was working, and I tell people like that it's the grind. And because of that, I realize now that I do got to take time off. You know what I mean? Even with my kids, I have 2 older kids. As they get older, you realize you have to take time off. You have to spend time with the family and take them places so that, we don't get no younger, man. We only getting older. And as I get older, I learn spending time with my kids, with my family, with my team. It's real special, you know what I mean? Like my team is my family, man. They're not just barbers that work for me. No, man, like we are a family. Like we do other things together. We have events at the shop. We'll host a fight there, and I tell guys you can stay if you want to. I'm gonna order some pizza, you know what I mean? And of course they get drinks. I don't drink, but they get drinks, and we hang out. You know what I mean? It's a good thing, man.
There's a different dynamic. I've been to a lot of different shops, but I can definitely tell you, going to your shop and seeing your interactions of your people, especially recently, it's like watching a TV show. It's like watching the barbershop. It's literally everybody has their own different personality. You got, this guy over here, and he's like, I could tell he's holding everything down. He's like the enforcer, right? Then you got the young cat on this side, and the young dude is like just being young, saying crazy things that young people say.
Yeah.
And all the older people are just like, listen, they don't even, because what you going to do? He young. That's what he think is true.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just see these interactions. How do you keep all that together? Like, you got these characters and these personalities. How do you keep that all together?
Man, I think it just comes with the years of just managing people and just understanding, that you're going to have a dynamic. You're going to have a super diverse workforce, especially in our industry. Our youngest guy is 20, and I think Jug, I'm not going to say his age, but Jug is older than me. You know what I mean? So, you got a 28-year gap in between everybody. But the dynamic is everyone's there for the same purpose. We're all trying to grow. We're all trying to grow the business. We're trying to grow the team. And, we all have that same common goal is to give everybody a great haircut. Give everybody a great experience when they come in the shop. And believe it or not, like the sheet I was telling you we have, if you ever been to Chick-fil-A, hey, how's it going? Welcome to Chick-fil-A. How can I help you today? I tell everybody, that's how people need to feel when they walk into our shop. Hey, how's it going? How can I help you today? That's the simplest line you can give somebody. Even when I walked in here, hey, how's it doing, man? Good to see you again. Like, you should always feel invited when someone's coming into your business. You should invite somebody in. That's common business practice. Because for me, if I go to business and I don't feel wanted, like, do I really want to spend my money there? Like,
I think we've all been in those shops, and not to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but I think that's why people shop online so much, because what's the difference? Like, why go meet with somebody who hates their job and they're angry to be there and have that experience when you could just click a button?
You just click a button, just order what I want. Mm-hmm. That's why Amazon is where they are now, right now, because people don't really care about, like say, people love their jobs. There's people that hate their jobs. And I think that's the difference with a lot of industries, and and especially in barbering, a lot of barbers are finally learning to love what they do. I think that's the good thing that's coming out of our industry right now is guys really love what they do. They really love it, and they have the passion for it to where they're gonna learn everything they can to be successful. You know what I mean? And for me, as long as I could teach it to somebody, I love to teach it. That's the one main reason we started our podcast, was because we know that there's people out there that need the knowledge. We know there's people that need to learn, the greeting part. Like I say, if you go into any shop right now, like I said, I've been to a couple of my buddies' shops, and nothing bad on them. It's just when you walk in, no one greets you. No one says nothing to you. They look up and then they look back. There'll be guys sitting there on their phone and they'll look up at you and then they just.
I think we've all been.
And it's like, shops. Man, like, how do you know? You don't even know who I am. And even if you did know who I am, even if I did own a shop and you didn't know who I am, who's to say I wasn't going there to just try one of you guys out?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Just to, hey, maybe I might be doing some work. Maybe he sent me to let's see how you guys do. You want your owner to see let's see what they do when you walk in there. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like the secret shoppers. It's a real thing. Well, we don't really do in the barber world, but I think we should do something like that because it would help owners realize that there is some training they need to do with their teams. There's a little bit of training you have to do, because that little training will get more people to stay in your business. That's the goal, is to get people to come back. If you can execute a good haircut, but if they don't feel welcome, there's kind of, now it's a 50-50 shot whether they're going to come back. That's true. Imagine if you gave them a great welcoming, you invited them in, and you gave them a great haircut. Man, I want to go. Those guys are cool. I want to go back there. You know what I mean? They told me I've never felt like that when I walk in the shop. No one's ever talked to me when I walk in the shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what was missing in barbering. Believe me, I've worked in a lot of shops, and I noticed that that's what was missing the whole time, was that little aspect of just greeting somebody. Hey, how you doing today? How can I help you?
Just a personal touch.
Yeah, just a personal, that one little thing. And I caught it from Chick-fil-A. I give it to Chick-fil-A because believe me, you walk Chick-fil-A, they are on point. And it's not just one person when you walk in. There's multiple people saying, hey, how's it going? How's it going? But you feel invited. You feel so welcome to be there. You know what I mean? And that's how in any business, when someone walks in your business, you should be greeting every person. Even if you, like I tell guys, even if you know it's my client, you walk in, guys still greet you even when you walk in, no matter what.
That's true.
Because even though they know you're going to my chair, that's still, it's practice. It's just practice. You should always greet somebody. Someone should greet anybody walking in that door, no matter what, at any business. That's just my core principle
Even
of
Walmart.
business. Yeah, Walmart.
Greeters,
Yeah, and they do tell you, hey, you walk in Walmart, hey, how's it going, dude? Like, if Walmart's doing it, you should take a little advice from all these billion-dollar companies. This is what they do to be successful. You know what I mean? This is how they're successful.
Because you do remember that person. Even going to Walmart, you remember that person.
Yeah, you remember that one
or
person.
you remember if they didn't.
Yep.
If they're on their phone.
Yep. If they're on their phone and they look up at you, you're like, man, that's
because it is Walmart.
Yeah, it is.
So I want to shift gears a little bit. I know your business is in Peoria, and I know that you're big on doing a lot of things. Have you done anything in the Peoria community to give back to that area, to the community?
Yeah. So we I know a couple months ago one of the schools over there, they were having it was like a fundraiser thing going on for their school. They invited us out there, so we went out there and we were handing out candies and stuff and just meeting people, just saying networking. My thing is networking is key wherever you're at. It don't have to be in an expo. It don't have to be, dude, these free events. These cities everywhere are doing free events every weekend, every week. You know, it's just finding these places and finding the time to get there and actually show up and be able to do it. You know what I mean?
Because I could imagine the weekends probably takes a lot from your business to not go to your shop.
Because my weekends are very, very busy. I'm usually booked up on my weekends, so it's hard to take a weekend day off. The good thing, like I say, the other owner that's not here, my wife, you know what I mean, if I can't make it, believe me, she's been to a couple events already for us and she's done them, and it gets people in the door. Like the last event we did, the school event, we went to that event and I want to say it was like a 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock. But in that time, I think we've gained like 10 new clients just from going to this event. Yeah. And that's the goal, you know what I mean, is to meet new people, to invite them to our shop, to get them in there and to make new friendships. You know what I mean? Not just make money, it's make new friendships, invite people into our space, man.
What do you do? What'd you do at the school? Like, was it for the kids?
It was just for the kids. It was a Halloween thing. That's how I know it was October. And we did the Halloween thing. They were giving out candy. You know, they go from each little booth giving out candy for the kids. So we were one of the booths, and we were just giving out candy and giving flyers to everybody and just meeting people. And, you know, it was a good experience to go out there. And that was the first school I've ever done it at. You know, I've been trying to get in with the schools, and it's some of the, it's crazy. Like high schools don't really do stuff like that. It's usually the elementary schools, but it's a good thing I know a guy that his wife is on the PTA at one of the schools, so he ended up, you know, we were talking about it one day as he was getting a cut, and I don't even cut him, he gets cut by one of the other barbers, and we were talking about it, and he's like, you know, I'm going to send you a link, and if you want to join it, and then, you know, I was like, how much does it cost? He's like, man, it's free for you, like, say less. Like, what? That's awesome. It's free. Free is always good. Like, you know what I mean? And even if it was $20, $100, I'd pay it. Like I tell guys all the time, like, it's part of advertising. You got to pay to get something back in it. You know what I mean? If someone tells you got to pay $100 to be at an event, you know what I mean? You should probably pay the $100 and then do all the networking you can, pass out the flyers you can, as many as you can, so you can get some more traction into your business. That's business in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. You got to get out there.
Yeah, you got to get out there and get the exposure. You have to, man. Like, there's so many people that are scared to do it, but once you do it, you'll realize your business starts getting a little more successful. You start gaining a couple more people, and then in our business, you know, word of mouth is everything. So you cut one person, they come, and then they tell their cousin, then their cousin comes, and then they tell their friend, and their friend comes, and then they tell their coworkers, and then one of their coworkers comes, and it's a trickle. It keeps going, and you build off of that.
So my dad, he's back home in Philly. He actually moved to Delaware now, but he just got an iPhone. I know you used to be an iPhone person, but now we got green messages when we text. But that's cool. So he just got an iPhone, and I talked to him yesterday, and my kids got home. My wife picked them up from school, and we're talking. He's like, "What? How do you do that with your hair? What happened to your hair?" I said, "Oh, I've been wearing my do-rag. I'm trying to get my waves going on." He said, "Yeah, but I'm looking at your line. Like, why is your line so straight?" I said, Dad, I got a haircut. So we have a natural widow's peak. My dad has a natural widow's peak. I have a natural widow's peak. I hate the widow's peak. For my whole life growing up, I would notice my corners was like, it would like come to a point and then it makes like a little triangle in the tip. Like, why does it do that? I don't like that. So my dad had the haircut too. So I would always get it cut off. So I think it's been so long since he's seen me and he knows how his hair grows. He's been cutting it off because it's turning gray. But I just want to say thank you. It was the dopest. Like my pop is a
when
very
your dad notices something like that.
So when it comes to haircuts and being on point, I can definitely say you guys have it. And I want to segue this into a different question, but it's when you guys are at the shop, how do you stay having that environment? Everybody's having a good time. How do you stay focused, or is it just second nature to just give out good cuts all the time?
I think it's just second nature, man. I think that, you know, for me, I've done it so long that, you know, it's just natural. You know what I mean? It's just normal ability, you know what I mean, to do it. You know what I mean? This is my 28th year cutting hair now. I've been cutting since I was a kid. This is my 10th year license, like professionally doing this, is being licensed through the state, and doing it so long. Like, you know, before I was even professional, you know, I should just cut on the patio or cut in the backyard or cut in the bathroom. And we've always had music. You always have music on no matter what, man. It's part of barbering, I think, is you have a little bit of music on, and you know, it's just normal, you know what I mean, to be in a good environment. I think if you're in that good environment and it's just second nature to just do what we do and just be amazing at it. And like I say, for me, I'm always constantly want to learn something new from someone. Even when I go to these events, man, I've met young guys, and like, dude, the youngest kid I met was 13, and I think that's more so I gravitated towards kid because that's when I started. I was like 13 years old. Wow. And I think that's why when he told me he's 13, I kind of started listening a little more, and then I was like, man, like, crazy to see that this kid is way more advanced than I was at 13 right now. And then I asked him, you know, how long you been cutting? He's like, a couple months. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. You know what I mean?
For a couple months.
And then I was like, you know what? How'd you get so good? He's like, YouTube, man, YouTube. And I just been coming to events and watching guys. And I'm like, man, if a young 13-year-old kid can do it, man, imagine, you know, somebody 40 or 50 year olds has still been doing this for a long time. They don't show up to these events. Imagine if you go to these events, you can learn something from somebody, man. Something that you can take back to the shop and use on one of your clients, your friends, your family, to make them look a little more better. You know what I mean? Make them feel a little more better about themselves.
Why do you think so many barbers are, I don't want to say unsuccessful, why do you think they struggle on the business side of things?
I think a lot of them struggle on the business side of things because it's crazy. I just had a conversation with the bar about this. Is they go to the shops and they go here, they go there, they go there, they go there, and all these owners, and a lot of these owners, their main goal is just to make money. Just to make money. They don't care about teaching nobody nothing. They don't care about just hey, cut hair, make me money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the common denominator I've seen in barbering. And believe it or not, there are a select few. There's a lot of owners that do care, that actually put time to teach their guys, to try to motivate them to do a little more, to market themselves a little more. But there's more ones that don't than there are that do.
Yeah.
And that's what happens is a lot of these barbers, they end up at these shops that don't give them flyers, they don't give them business cards to pass out. So they're solely relying on that walk-in traffic.
Yeah.
So they go to the shops and they'll sit there all day on their phone just waiting for someone to walk in. And like I tell guys all the time, like, you know, we're right next to water and ice, so people are constantly going to the water and ice right next door. So I'm telling guys, like, just have cards on you. When you see someone walk by, just go give that person a card.
Go get them.
You know what I mean? They're like, and they're like, oh, I already gave him a card. Give them another one. Give them another one. You know what I mean? And I tell them, you guys might not think it works, you know, but Jug's a proven fact. Jug gave a dude probably like 10 cards before he finally came into the shop. But he's persistent. And now Jug cuts that guy like every 2 weeks. And I tell guys, the persistence, man. Hey, you're going to get no's. You're going to get, oh, I got a barber. Cool. Hey, here's another card, man.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
When you have somebody.
You know what I mean? What E.T., I don't know if you ever watch E.T.
I have.
You know,
hip-hop preacher.
Dude, he says, you got to want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe. You know what I mean? And I tell anybody, if you don't understand what that feels like, go sit in a tub filled up with water and stick your head underwater till you can't breathe. And you know what it feels like when you want that air. That's how bad you want to be successful, man. How bad you need that air, That's how bad you want to be successful. And you need it. You need to have it. When you understand what that means, you're going to go out there and do whatever you have to do to be successful. You're going to pass out 10 cards to the same guy that passes by every other day to get water. You're going to give it to the guy that's going to get ice cream with his kids 10 times. You know what I mean? Because that's how successful you want to be. You're going to keep on it. He's going to come get cut by me eventually. Hey, he's going to get tired of it and finally just, I'm going to go check this guy out. You know what I mean? Believe me, that's how successful you have to want to be. You got to want it that bad. And I think that's what's missing is a lot of guys, they don't have the training, man. No one teaches them about the marketing part. They just think I'm going to come to this shop and I'm just going to wait for walk-ins.
People are gonna walk
in. You know what I mean? You have in our business, you have slow days, there's busy days. You know, even in your business, I'm sure you get it. You know, any business, there's slow days. McDonald's, believe it or not, they have slow days, they have busy days. And you got to take them how they come, you know what I mean? If you have a slow day, it's going to be a slow day, but that just that means that you have more time to market yourself that day. That means you have more time to go out there and pass out cards when you're slower. And a lot of these shops just never provided the materials for people. And even if they did provide it, the guys aren't doing it because there's nobody motivating them, explaining to them the benefits of it. You know what I mean? Explaining the benefits of, you know what, if you just go pass out 10 cards every hour, you know what I mean? Marketing 101, if anyone knows real marketing, you pass out 100 cards or flyers, you're supposed to get a 5% return. So that means 5 people will come back. So if 5 people come back, out of those 5, you're supposed to get at least 2.5 return, which I guess you'll get 2 guys and a midget coming back. But that's funny. But it's about 3 people, give or take, after the 5. So you'll get 2 people. Let's say 2. Let's say you get two returns. If you get 2 people from 100 cards, that's good. That's success. That's winning. But if you pass 0 cards out, you get 0 return. So you got to think about that. You know what I mean? You
might as well give them out.
You might as well give out 100. I tell guys, 100 a week is simple. You know what I mean? You work 5 days a week. That's 20 cards a day. If you can't pass out 20 cards a day, what are you really doing with your time? Because if you're not booked up and you're not taking walk-ins back to back to back to back, dude. And even if you are, dude, even myself, I tell guys, I can walk to the Fry's, go grab me a bottle of water, come back, and I can pass out 10 cards in that time. So it's not hard. It's not difficult, but you have to do it.
Man, it sounds like you're talking about real estate agents.
Dude, man, it's the hardest thing is people got to, you have to market yourself. You have to constantly be marketing yourself to somebody. I heard a guy just talk about it yesterday on his podcast is, wear stuff, that says you're a barber, says, the name of your shop or something. Yeah. So people know, what's that? True Blends. Oh, yeah, it's a barbershop right here in Peoria. You know what I mean? Stuff like that so people can understand you cut hair. You know what I mean?
It's true.
For us, that's what we do. You should always be marketing yourself somewhere, some way.
How do people find your shop? How do they get to you if they want to either be one of your barbers? If you have space, sounds like you got a lot already. Or how do they find you to get hair?
We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok, True Blends Barbershop. On both of them. We have a YouTube, True Blends Barbershop podcast. We're on there. You can check us out. And anybody that's looking for work, let us know. We're always looking for good barbers. We're always looking for good barbers, hard, motivated, ready to put their foot to the ground and really get out there and go bring something to the table. You know what I mean? Our website, trueblensbarbershop.com. If you need to book an appointment, it'll take you right to the website. It'll look just like this.
For the green.
Hey, hit any of the book now buttons if you're trying to get a haircut, and it'll take you right to our website, and you book. Pick any barber. Any one of our barbers will take care of you. They're all good guys. I'll get cut by every single one of these guys in the shop. There's not one barber I wouldn't let cut me.
It's awesome.
You know what I mean? As I said, we got a good team. Dude, I stand by their work, man. These guys are actually really good barbers, man.
This stuff. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, definitely appreciate like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, so we can keep bringing you local businesses. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.